Hey, good morning. Or is it afternoon? Holy shit, it's afternoon. Where did the day go? Um, so, just a couple of quick things that I wanted to share with you. And I mean, often what I share is what's happening in my own life, really. And then how that works for me. I mean, when I'm talking with you guys like this, it is really a picture of my own life, and so thank you for allowing me to just do this. But the this morning I had to get up and I drove in from Vancouver yesterday, which was amazing. But I got up this morning and went. I work part time at Fresh Start, and which is a treatment center here in town, and they had staff pictures and it was great to go and be involved in that. But the reflection that I have later is that, well, first of all, I haven't been an employee anywhere for forever, like since the 80s, maybe even the 70s. I've always been an entrepreneur. So to be part of a team, even though it's a part-time part of that team, I do to be there and to just let that in, that the love that's there, and the way that the staff are all with each other, it's really quite amazing. No sense of competition, or it really is amazing. And to allow those gifts to come. And my message today is that, as we're growing, spiritually, as we're doing our work, hi Cami, as we're doing our work, amazing stuff's going to come. As we, in our prayers, as we say, hey, I'm available to serve, I'm available to work with people, and we do that, the gifts are going to come in. And a lot of what ego has been telling us most of our life is that we're not worthy, right? That we're not worthy. And so, we can't just change that. We have to rise above that. And we rise above that through, as we do the steps and we develop a God consciousness, we start to realize who we are. We're not that person that we thought we were, the unworthy one, the one that had guilt and shame and fear and anger and grief and all of those things that we carried around with us. We're not that person. That's part of the persona, so then it becomes easier to just kind of let life happen and let amazing stuff happen. Boy, oh boy, I look at my own life and this weekend, the opportunities to serve have been phenomenal, just unbelievable. And so that's it. I mean, I guess that the shift that needs to happen from what's in it for me to how can I serve, is the awakening. And we recognize that we're part of this team, this huge team, this worldwide team of people that are living in love. And I mean, we're all living in love at one level, but the more we get to live in that state, the more we get to called up to share, and because we're sharing from a place of love. And the more the gifts come. I mean, but it doesn't really matter. What do I really know is a gift, I mean, at one time I thought a gift was if I made a certain amount of money. I was doing, that was the gift, that was the blessing, was measured in money. And so I remember there was an old guy, what was his name? He used to say that we knew the price of everything and the value of nothing. That was Billy Sims. Billy, we just quoted you. Your spirit is still here. The price of everything and the value of nothing. He had some great sayings, and he was one of us, and he was a love worker. He really was, and so isn't that what we want to be? And to recognize that often, we're kind of caught in this illusion of what's in it for me. And when we're living in what's in it for me, we limit truly the possibility of great things happening for us. So we have to live in, how can I serve? How can I serve? And we recognize then that we are one with this universal intelligence. There's no separation. When we're living in love, we are it. We are that. So anyway, feeling the gifts these days, really feeling the gifts, and it's beautiful. And the trick is to say yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A million thank yous. And so today, that's kind of my talk today. I'm just say yes, yes. Even if it's no, say yes to your no. Sometimes, we can't say yes, but we're not saying no out of fear. We're saying no out of, that's not where the energy's going, I had a friend today on the phone. He was talking to me about a buddy of ours who's doing sobriety coaching, and recovery coaching. And he's charging like $2,000 for 20 sessions or something, and whatever, and my buddy said, well, you should be doing that. And I said, well, actually, I'm getting paid way more. And he said, what do you mean? I said, well, that's what I do. But I don't set a fee. And in life, God will look after that. The universe looks after that. There's no fee necessary. It's all looked after. So, I guess that's maybe a bit of a far-out attitude, but is it? No, it's not. Okay. So anyway, that's my deal. Guess what, you guys? If any of you have watched this ever before, I've complained the last several months, about, oh gosh, I got to get glasses. Well, I was away this weekend in Squamish visiting my daughter and her lovely husband, John. And I went over to the drugstore and bought some readers, because that's all I really need. They're 125s. I'm actually I have a little bit of pride around the fact that these still work really good. But look at this. Here they go. How are they? How do I look? Okay, what's the date? It's the 28th. Oh my gosh! I can read the words. It's crazy that I've been doing this all this time without it. 28th of October. Thought for the day. This is out of this little book called the 24-Hour Day Book, and the 24-Hour Day Book was written in 1954 by some guy. And it's interesting because this old one, and it's a really old, it has a price tag on the front of it of $1.50. And a mailing address you can mail to get one. Isn't that crazy? How old, shows how old that is. And it's it has a lot of cool stuff in it. It has the steps and the traditions in the back, and so we started reading this May the 1st, and we're coming up on, I think, 6 months maybe. Let me see, May, June, July, August, September, 5, and the end of it. Yeah, it'd be 6 months. I have to count on my fingers, right? Hi, Cammie. All right. Cammie says, my glasses are great. Don't lose them on your head like I do. You mean like they're up here and I'm looking everywhere for them? Where are my glasses? Oh, there they are. Yeah, I know. I do that with everything, keys and all kinds of stuff. Here we go. 28th, thought for the day. What other rewards have come to me? What other rewards have come to me? Oh, we're talking about rewards. That's what we were just talking about, isn't it? Yeah. As a result of my new way of living, each one of us can answer this question in many ways. My relationships with my wife or husband and children are on an entirely new plane. The total selflessness is the total selfishness is gone, and a more cooperative cooperation has taken its place, and more cooperation. Yes, my home is a home again. Understanding has taken the place of misunderstanding. Recriminations bickering, and resentment. Okay, so understanding has taken the place of misunderstanding, recriminations, bickering, and resentment. A new companionship has developed, which bodes well for the future. There are homes where fires burn, and there is bread, and lamps are lit, and prayers are said. Though people falter through the dark and nations grope, with God's help, with God himself back of these little homes, we still can hope. Have I come home? So he's talking about the gifts that happen, for many of us in sobriety, in our relationships, in our little homes. Right? It's beautiful. I just came from a beautiful home, my daughter's home in Squamish, and the relationship with with her and her husband and their twins, and it's really sweet to see the gifts of living a spiritually based life. And the neat thing about the 12 steps is that we're not really, how do I say it? We're not endorsing any particular type of spirituality. I love that the whole idea is of God as we understand him. There's a couple of things we agree on, though. One of them is that there's a lot of power in prayer, and meditation, and keeping our house clean. As we go through the day, looking back and seeing how things have been with people. I mean, there are some practicalities in the recovery program, but the context, though, as we go from what about me to how can I serve thee, and thee being the planet, everybody, the whole world. So it's beautiful. Okay, meditation for the day. I could run on, that. So meditation of the day, we can bow to God's will in anticipation of the thing happening, which will, in the long run, be the best for all concerned. That's right. We don't know what's the best for all concerned, so we can bow to God's will in anticipation of the thing happening, which will, in the long run, be the best for all concerned. It may not always seem the best thing at the present time. There is exactly what we were talking about. But we cannot see as far ahead as God can. We do not know how his plans are laid. We only need to believe that if we trust him and accept whatever happens as his will, in a spirit of faith, everything will work out for the best in the end. And, when he talks about God as a separate entity, I like to point out that what Bill Wilson said in We Agnostics, God either is or he isn't, either he's everything or he's nothing. If he's everything, that includes us. And how we realize that as we move into service and into love, and we start to see that we are part of the same flow. We are not separate. So it's not like there's a separate objective being who, the old man with a white beard. Not this old man with a white beard, but you know what I mean, and up in the cloudy skies with willowy robes. That's a Sunday school idea of God. That was a concept that we were given so that we could relate to. But recognize that there's no separation. We are all one, and we meet at love. And then, and above that, in vibration to, the extreme, which would be Christ consciousness. So that's a fact. And as we rise up, we leave behind all of our fears. We leave behind our persona, our attachment to family, our attachment to health, our attachment to money. We just leave those things behind. It's nice to have all of those, but we're not attached. And as we get free of those attachments, we're then lifted higher. We move into our natural state. And then we recognize the oneness that we are with the higher power of the universal intelligence. Here's my little quick description of God. Imagine. Who do I think I am? Anyway, prayer for the day. I pray that I may not ask to see the distant scene. I pray that one step may be enough for me. So in faith, in trust, we move one step at a time. So that's it. Our reading for the day. for the 28th of October. And just a little bit about saying yes. Yes to life. Yes to love. Yes to freedom, right? Yes to direction, intuitive thought. Yes to service. Yes. Okay, thanks, you guys. Love you. And thanks for my little audience today. Yeah, okay. Bye.